I thought sober he'd be loving, considerate, patient. I was expecting Mexican Tom Hanks.
It ain't as long as a break between unemployment.
That was a long break. Too long.
I mean, I think we all know, how great it is to be creative and something you love to do, but also that there are much fewer shows than there would be sitcoms. I think, sitcoms have always been a way to bond, and people have shows that they like and stuff like that. So, the fact that it's low water right now, we'd like to see more shows.
Yeah, that'd be great if we had company, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a little, for me at least, I was like a little rusty, but I think as we work together, we're a well-oiled machine now. I think with getting one season underneath, I think with writing, I think, with the cast, we've always gelled together. I think we're very fortunate with getting along with one another, but it's like been boom, boom, boom. So it's like no time has passed.
It's pretty awesome. And just to, we're here with the showrunner, Debbie Wolf.
Yeah.
And scripts, just like so many jokes, and just like joke after joke after joke. And then the big difference is, which is very exciting, is that the audience has watched the show.
Yes.
So now we have, with this run on Netflix, Lopez versus Lopez, airing on Netflix, and then you have this groundswell, because that's what did happen during the strike.
Mm-hmm.
And now the audience is super fired up, so it fuels us on stage.
Goodness, George's recovery, right? The sober George. It's bringing on a lot of different elements to it, and how we all now have to navigate around this new person. So a lot of funny is coming into play with that.
Yeah, I think that and actual talking about mirror of real life. I don't drink as much as I did. I was quite good at it. But I think the show in a way is paralleling of maybe wanting to be healthier as I'm getting older. So the shows that I've always liked, and the shows that last are the ones I think that you can take something away from. How's it been?
As an outsider looking, I think it's great. I think that was like the first season, was really concentrated on that. And I think now we're going to see them settling into their groove. Obviously, there's the relationships between the entire family dynamic speaks volumes this season. But how has it been going, George? Has it helped you?
I think the trickiest part of all of it is being able to hear my ex-wife through Mayan's dressing room wall.
Oh my God.
To be honest. I mean...
So you heard last night?
I mean, God bless him. God bless him. But I might have to try to get a little bungalow by the Hitchcock production company. No. I mean, it's talk about mirroring life. I mean, stories on TV are one thing, but also, I see them like when we're not filming. So it's also very. I mean, you have to be able to. I think, and I could speak for a lot of people, is you have to be able to get past things and forgive things, and even when you're wrong, to be able to be wrong and allow good to come from things that were very painful. 24 hours a day, like all of us in the trailers and all stuff like that. It isn't one of those things where you have to walk down the aisle and be specifically quiet. We're all very much a family, and mine and all of us included, that we're just kind of cool with each other. So
it also helps that we like to make fun of ourselves.
Yes.
Like I think we're all open books, and so we're cool with just being ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's like I call my character off-screen Mayan, so I call her sitcom Mayan, because if I don't make that separation, I will go insane. Like, it's like, it would be re-traumatizing. But I think I keep enough where I still have the heart and the truth of those episodes, where I think I have gotten to the point where I trust my dad enough to, I know in those scenes he'll take care of me, and that's where the father-daughter dynamic like works in our favor, where that's can come off very natural. But it's sometimes in the beginning I remember someone being like, Mayan, you're reading that line a little intense. And I was like, oh, that was me. And then I have to think, am I intense? Like, it's like, I was like, I'm gonna have to talk to my therapist at lunch.
No, I think George and Mayan are incredible muses, and I think they also like understand what's funny about the things that they've gone through in the past. Like they're able to reflect on it now and point out, you know, what the humor is in it, even though they were difficult moments. And so it's really incredible as a showrunner to be able to have, you know, these two muses that inspire us in the room.
I'll tell you what, first season was fun. This season, he's been just going off, and he won't tell me when he's going to say certain things. So I'll be honest, I think I'm the one breaking the most this season because they're delivering gold. Even when
you had some nerves up here move when they were, you know, up here usually these don't move, but he was like clenched his jaw, and then up here they were twitching.
I just looked down.
I pick a spot on the floor and I just
there's been some good ones already.
This last episode we did, George had a moment, and I know I cracked, and I just looked down and play with my hair when that happens, and then Mayan looked at me and I could hear her go. So, you know, yeah, we have a good time.
I created a name for a magician, Doodle the Magnificent.
Yeah.
Which means I'm hard the Magnificent. Does it
there.
translate? I know. I didn't tell her. You know,
He didn't tell me, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I just looked at him, and my eyes were like.
I needed a magician's name.
And he stood like this. I was
Doodle.
Like, stop.
Doodle the Magnificent.
There's one where George goes like, you stop that this instant. Yeah. And Matt, when we did that scene, I could just see him having to go a different place, like in his head, like he had to go to like a different room to like not break. Also, like with Bryce too, who plays Chance, like sometimes like even yesterday we were in a scene with each other, and like Matt and I just fully started laughing.
Yeah.
But it was adding, and it was something that helped with the scene. But you know, that helped. I was like, oh, that was a good example of a break.
Yeah,
but,
the little kid's a comic genius.
Oh,
so
Jesus, yeah.
He really is just born to do this.
When he was like dressed as George, I was losing my mind.
It was, and also the perfect way to break up that scene in a way that it was a laugh of release. Oh, that little, and he was like with the hot dog, thinking is hard. I'm like, who does that? He's 8 years old now.
No, in between takes also, he'll look at everybody and go, watch what I do here.
Yeah.
And then go, I got this, watch what I do.
He's 35 years old.
Full sidekick mode, which is great because I grew up idolizing Don Knotts, sidekick, Martin Short, you know, like just looking back at like, you know, comedy sidekicks over the years, like, you know, even Norman Fell from Three's Company. If we're going to start, like, you have all these great comic actors. So, and then learning from George, we were talking about improvised moments. So fun when he starts making stuff up. And I get to roll with it. Last night even, he just came in out of nowhere and scared Mayan in a scene when she was trying to stack dishes and started laughing. I jumped right in there. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. So I love, it's quirky, weird stoner sidekick who's a fun character to play.
I mean, Rita Moreno, that was crazy. I mean, she walked into my dressing room and she must think that I have issues because I couldn't even speak clearly. You know, she was like, what's wrong with this one? But it was just Rita Moreno. That was, for me, the reason why I'm here. You know, she paved the way. So that was historic and amazing and all the things. We've had a lot of great ones.
So, you know, all of those things, you know, the first show, a lot of them were people that saw Laker games. I said, anybody that does a Laker game is in play. The mayor, Michael Clark Duncan, God rest his soul, you know, all the people, you know, Snoop, and things. So in a way, I I sent Little John an email because of the halftime performance. I'd never seen him fully dressed, like in clothes. He looked amazing. It's usually in an NBA jersey, and he's on the hook now. He doesn't even know he's on the hook, but he's on the hook for the show.
It's been fun because it's like a revolving door of guest stars, and it's for me, somebody growing up, like every week I just found out through Deadline that Marshawn Lynch is going to be on. I'm like, the job I have is a dream come true, and I get to meet so many people that I've looked up to for so long.
So George Lopez, Gabriel Iglesias, like the two top comedians coming together, and
it's like Iron Man and Captain America kind of like coming together for that kind of collab.
As a Latino comic, I know that is tricky because we were all, there's, the 20% of the population, 5% of the characters on film and TV. We're not in shows. No. And to get those guys in the same show is an incredible coup pulled off by NBC and George and Fluffy. So this is a big deal. That's a big one because typically everyone's left scrapping for these very small pieces of the pie, and that's thankfully changing. So
yeah, our Latino Hollywood community is really coming together.
Yes.
And this show is a great opportunity to move that forward. So we love that. We love, being able to we want every Latino actor in our show at some point.
I always joke that the byproduct of us not being on television is that we're all available.
Exactly.
There is sort of a benefit that a lot of people want it, but people do want to come on and help out, so that's awesome.
But we did have Rita Moreno and Cheech Marin in the same episode.
Yes,
and
the same
that
episode.
was just so iconic. It was just, I think, everyone, writers, cast, crew, we're all just in awe of both of them having two legends are on set, was said so many times, and we did not take that for granted. That was such a special
No, it's just an amazing list. Harvey Guillen and Jessica Marie Garcia jumping in the same episode. Harvey Guillen doesn't need to do this show. He doesn't, but he wants to. Melissa Fumero doesn't need to do this show, but he wants to. Danny Trejo. Like, it's just nonstop parade of guest stars, so it'll be fun.